My wife slept with my best friend, so I stayed silent. And destroyed them both at his wedding. I've been married to Talia for 6 years. We met at a fundraiser for urban development projects. She was there representing her gallery. I was there because my firm had just finished designing a pedestrian bridge that the city actually didn't screw up during construction. Rare win. We clicked immediately. She appreciated that I could talk about structural integrity without putting her to sleep. I appreciated that she could make modern art sound like something other than a tax write-off. 6 years. Good years, I thought. We had the house in the suburbs with the mortgage that made me wince every month. We had the friend group that did couples game nights and summer barbecues. We had plans, vague ones about kids someday, specific ones about remodeling the kitchen. We had a life. Thursday night, she came home at 11:49 p.m. I know the exact time because I was working late on foundation calculations for a bridge rehab project, and I glanced at my phone when I heard her car in the driveway. She'd texted me around 8 saying the gallery networking event was running long, not to wait up. Standard stuff. She did these events a few times a month, schmoozing with collectors, artist meet and greets, the whole scene. I got up to greet her when she came through the door. She looked good, black dress, heels, hair still perfect. Smiled when she saw me. "Hey, you," she said, dropping her purse on the entry table. "Didn't think you'd still be up." Bridge designs wait for no man. I pulled her in for a hug. Just a normal greeting. The kind we'd done 1,000 times. That's when I smelled it. Cologne. Not mine. I wear something basic from the substance store because I'm not trying to impress anyone at construction sites. This was different. Expensive. Distinct. And worst of all, familiar. I knew that scent. Ronan wore it. Had worn it since college when his first real girlfriend bought it for him and he decided it was his signature. We joked about it for years. How he went through a bottle every 2 months. How you could smell him coming from 3 rooms away. My best friend's cologne. On my wife's dress. I didn't say anything. That's important. I didn't confront her. Didn't pull back. Didn't ask questions. I just held her for another second, then kissed her forehead like everything was normal. "How was it?" I asked. She launched into a story about some sculptor from Brooklyn and a collector who'd gotten drunk and insulted everyone's taste. I listened. Nodded in the right places. Watched her lie to my face with the same mouth that had probably kissed him hours earlier. When we went to bed, she kissed me goodnight. "Love you," she said. "Love you too." She fell asleep in minutes. Just curled up on her side, breathing steady and peaceful. No guilt. No hesitation. Just sleep. I lay there in the dark, staring at the ceiling. Ronan. My best friend since sophomore year of college. The guy who'd been my roommate for 3 years. Who'd stood beside me at my wedding. Who I trusted with everything. Ronan, who was getting married in 3 weeks to Narissa, this brilliant neurosurgeon he'd been with for 2 years. I was his best man. The irony would have been funny if it wasn't my life. I didn't sleep that night. But I wasn't panicking. Wasn't spiraling. My brain had shifted into something else. Engineer mode. Problem-solving mode. I started running through variables, building a mental framework. I needed proof. Real proof, not just a cologne I recognized. I needed to know how long. How deep. Whether this was a one-time mistake or something more. And I needed to decide what to do with that information. By the time the sun came up, I had a plan forming. Not all of it. Not the details. But the foundation was there. I wasn't going to confront them. Not yet. I was going to watch. Document. Wait. And then I was going to act. My phone buzzed around 8 a.m. Text from Ronan. "Poker tonight at my place? Miss hanging with you, brother." I stared at the message for a long moment. Then I typed back, "Wouldn't miss it." Poker night at Ronan's was always the same crowd. Me, him, 2 guys from his law firm, and occasionally this accountant named Greg who talked too much about cryptocurrency. That night it was just the core 4. Ronan's place is nice, downtown condo, floor-to-ceiling windows, the kind of bachelor pad that was about to become a married couple pad in 3 weeks. Narissa had already moved some of her stuff in. I noticed her medical textbooks on the shelf, her running shoes by the door. "Beer?" Ronan asked, already heading to the fridge. "Yeah, thanks." He seemed normal. Relaxed. Happy, even. We settled in around his poker table and he immediately started talking about wedding stress. "The seating chart is going to destroy me," he said, dealing cards. Narissa's parents want her aunt at table 3, but her aunt hates Narissa's cousin who's already at table 3, and I'm just sitting there like, can't we all just eat food and be adults? Everyone laughed. I laughed too. Picked up my cards. Were you landing on the honeymoon? Greg asked. Greece. 2 weeks. Narissa found this place on Santorini that's supposed to be incredible. His phone buzzed on the table. He glanced at it, smiled slightly, then flipped it face down. My brother keeps sending me marriage advice memes. Half of them are just you are screwed jokes. I watched that phone. Watched the way his hand had moved to it automatically. The little smile. You need help with any last minute stuff? I asked. I know you've got the bachelor party locked down, but if there's vendor confirmations or whatever, I can make calls. Nah, man, you've done enough already. Seriously. Best man ever. He raised his beer. To friends who actually show up. We clinked bottles. I lost $60 that night. Didn't care. I was busy observing. The way Ronan checked his phone 4 more times. The way he seemed distracted during hands but focused when talking about the wedding. The way he never mentioned Talia once, even though our friend group always talked about each other's spouses. When I got home around midnight, Talia was already asleep. I didn't wake her. Instead, I went to my home office and opened my laptop. We share a family phone plan. Have for years, it's cheaper that way. I have account access. Can see all the numbers, all the data usage, all the call logs. I started digging. Deleted messages show up in backups if you know where to look. Cloud storage is convenient until it isn't. I installed recovery software I'd used once before when I accidentally wiped some work files. Same principle. It took an hour. Then I found them. 4 months of messages. Started in January. It was April now. The early ones were careful. Good seeing you today. Thanks for lunch. Plausibly deniable stuff. Then they got comfortable. Can't stop thinking about you. Tuesday night? Same place? I love you. That one hit different. Not love you like friends say. Not casual. Full declaration. I can't wait until we don't have to hide. After the wedding, we'll figure it out. After the wedding. They weren't planning to stop. This wasn't some affair that would end when Ronan got married. They thought they could keep going. Have their cake, eat it too, and I'd just keep being the oblivious best friend and husband. I checked the patterns. Cross-referenced with our shared calendar. Yeah, Ronan and I synced calendars years ago for coordinating friend stuff. Tuesday and Thursday nights. Every week. Talia's gallery events and client dinners. Ronan's client meetings and late nights at the office. Same nights. Every time. I opened a new folder on my desktop. Labeled it Bridge Project Files so it looked like work. Started backing everything up. Cloud storage. External hard drive. Second external hard drive. I wasn't taking chances. The next day, I installed a camera in our home office. Small one, tucked behind books on the shelf. Legal in our state as long as it's in your own home for security purposes. I checked. 3 days later, I caught Talia on it. Thursday afternoon, she came home early from the gallery. Sat at the desk. Called someone. I watched the footage that night after she went to bed. I miss you already, she said to whoever was on the other end. Had to be Ronan. I know. Just 2 more weeks until the wedding, then things will calm down and we can figure out our schedule. She was smiling. Playing with her hair. Looking happy. I love you too, she said before hanging up. I saved the video. Backed it up. Added it to the folder. 2 weeks until the wedding. I started testing them after that. Little comments. Man, I'm so excited for your wedding, Ronan. It's going to be incredible. Watching him shift in his seat. Hey Talia, did you find a dress for the ceremony yet? Watching her hesitate before answering. Neither of them knew I knew. The power dynamic had completely shifted, and they had no idea. My phone buzzed. Text from Ronan. Suit fitting reminder tomorrow at 2. Can't believe it's almost here. You ready to stand beside me for the biggest day of my life? I stared at the message. Then I typed, wouldn't miss it for anything. The suit fitting was at some boutique place downtown that Ronan had picked because Narissa wanted the wedding party to look cohesive. 6 groomsmen total, all standing around in various states of undress while a tailor with measuring tape draped around his neck barked instructions. Ronan was in full groom mode, excited, nervous, making jokes to cover both. He looked good in his tux. Happy. Like a man about to marry the love of his life. The tailor finished with me first. You're easy, he said. Stand still, know your measurements. Wish everyone was like you. Civil engineer, I said. I live by measurements. Ronan laughed from across the room where he was getting his jacket sleeves pinned. That's why you're my best man. Reliable. Precise. Never lets me down. I caught his eye in the mirror. Smiled. That's what brothers are for. The tailor stepped back, assessed the fit. Looking sharp. You'll photograph well. Can't upstage the groom, I said. Impossible, Ronan shot back. I'm too pretty. Everyone laughed. Normal guy banter. Normal wedding party energy. I played my role perfectly. Over the next week, I threw myself into best man duties like my life depended on it. Confirmed vendor schedules. Double-checked the rehearsal dinner reservations. Made sure the bachelor party playlist was downloaded and ready. Called Ronan's brother to coordinate transportation for out-of-town groomsmen. Every interaction with Ronan was flawless. I laughed at his jokes. Listened to his wedding stress. Gave advice on last-minute decisions about flowers and photo timings and whether they really needed a sparkler send-off. I don't know what I'd do without you, brother, he said one night over drinks while we finalized the reception timeline. You'd probably forget half the vendor payments and end up with no DJ, I said. Accurate. He clinked his glass against mine. Seriously though. You've been incredible through all this. I know wedding planning is boring as hell for everyone except the couple, and you've just shown up. Every time. That's what friends do. Best friends, he corrected. I smiled. Took a sip. Said nothing. At home, Talia was getting sloppy. More late nights. More last-minute gallery emergencies. She stopped being careful about her phone, left it face up on the counter, didn't bother hiding when texts came through. Got defensive when I asked simple questions about her day. You've been distant lately, she said one night while we were getting ready for bed. I looked up from my phone. Distant? Yeah. Like. Present but not present. You know? The irony was so thick I could taste it. Just stressed about work, I said. Bridge project deadlines. You know how it is. She softened. Came over and wrapped her arms around me from behind. I'm sorry. I know I've been busy with the gallery too. We should do a date night soon. After the wedding. Yeah, I said. After the wedding. She kissed my shoulder. Went to brush her teeth. I opened my calendar and scheduled a consultation with a divorce attorney for the next morning. The lawyer's office was sterile. Neutral tones, framed degrees, the smell of expensive air freshener. She listened to my situation without judgment. Do you want to pursue a fault-based divorce? She asked. No. Just want it clean and fast. We're in a no-fault state anyway. Alright. Asset division will be straightforward if you have documentation. I'll need bank statements, property records, investment accounts. I had everything ready. Spreadsheets. Account numbers. Even a list of who bought what major items during the marriage. She looked impressed. You're organized. I'm an engineer. Makes my job easier. She started drafting paperwork. How soon do you want these ready? 2 weeks. Day of delivery matters. I'll let you know the exact date. She didn't ask why. Probably didn't care. Just added it to her calendar. I spent the next 3 days moving money, legally, carefully. Inheritance from my grandfather that I'd kept in a joint account got transferred to a personal one. My 401k was already separate. I documented everything, made sure it was all above board. The divorce papers arrived at my office. I took them home, put them in my desk drawer. Called the courier service. I need a delivery scheduled for next Saturday. Specific time window, between 3 and 5 p.m. We can do that. I gave them my address. Paid extra for the guarantee. 1 week before the wedding, I compiled everything into a physical folder. Printed screenshots of messages. Printed call logs. Printed the timeline I'd built showing the pattern, every Tuesday and Thursday for 4 months. Put tabs on the pages. Made it organized, clear, irrefutable. Practiced my delivery in the mirror. Calm voice. Steady hands. Just facts. The plan was crystallized now. Perfect clarity. Not before the wedding, they'd spin it, play victims, maybe even convince people I was crazy. Not after, too private, too easy for them to disappear from consequences. During. At the ceremony. When the officiant asked for objections. 200 witnesses. No escape. No second chances. 3 days before the wedding, I came home to find Talia there early. She was still in her work clothes, but she looked flushed. Happy. She saw me and smiled, genuine, warm. crossed the room and kissed me. Deep, familiar. "I love you," she said against my mouth. "I'm so lucky to have you." I kissed her back. Held her face in my hands. "I love you too," I said. The lie tastes like nothing. The bachelor party was 2 nights before the wedding. I'd rented out a private room at this upscale whiskey bar downtown. Nothing crazy, Ronan wasn't the strip club type, and Narissa would have destroyed him anyway. Just good bourbon, better cigars, and his closest friends telling embarrassing stories. Ronan got drunk faster than usual. Nerves, probably. Or guilt. Hard to tell. Around midnight, most of the guys had cleared out. Just me and him left, sitting in leather chairs with our ties loosened and glasses half empty. "You're my best friend, man," he said, words slurring slightly. "My brother. I don't deserve you." I swirled my bourbon. "You're absolutely right about that." He laughed. Thought I was joking. "No, seriously. You've been incredible. Planning all this. Putting up with my stress. Just being there. That's what friends do. Best friends," he corrected, same as he always did. He stared into his glass. "I hope I can be half the husband Narissa deserves." I looked at him. Really looked at him. My best friend since we were 19. The guy who'd helped me move 4 times. Who'd talked me through my father's death. Who'd been the first person I called when Talia said yes. "You should probably aim higher than half," I said. He nodded seriously. "You're right. You're always right. That's why you're my conscience. My rock." The irony was so thick I almost choked on it. I drove him home. Poured him into bed. Left water and aspirin on his nightstand. The next morning, he texted me, "Can't believe I'm getting married in 2 days. You'll be there every step, right?" I typed back, "Every single step. Wouldn't miss it for the world." The rehearsal dinner was Friday night at this Italian place with a private dining room. Ronan's family, Narissa's family, the wedding party, close friends. Maybe 40 people total. I sat with Talia. She wore this blue dress that she'd bought specifically for the weekend. Looked beautiful. Spent the whole dinner chatting with other guests, laughing, playing the perfect supportive friend. At one point, she leaned over to me. "Isn't this lovely? Ronan and Narissa are so good together." "They really are," I agreed. 3 more years and that'll be us renewing our vows," she said, squeezing my hand. "Maybe somewhere tropical." I squeezed back. "Sounds perfect." After dinner, Ronan stood up to give a speech. Thanked his parents, Narissa's parents, the wedding party. Then he turned to me. "My best man," he said, raising his glass. "My rock. My best man in every sense of the word. I'm honored to have him standing beside me tomorrow." Everyone applauded. I nodded graciously, raised my glass back. Talia leaned into me. "You must be so proud." "Very," I said. After the dinner wound down, people started heading out. Talia was giddy on the drive home. "Tomorrow's going to be beautiful," she said. "The venue is perfect. The weather is supposed to be gorgeous. And Narissa looked so happy tonight." "They're perfect together," I said. "They really are." She looked out the window, smiling. "I'm so happy for them. For Ronan especially. He deserves this." I kept my eyes on the road. Tomorrow will be unforgettable. That night, alone in my office while Talia slept, I had my one moment of doubt. Was this too far? Public humiliation in front of 200 people? Destroying a wedding, devastating Narissa, obliterating 2 families' happiness in one moment? Should I just file for divorce quietly? Let Ronan marry Narissa, let them figure out their own karma, just walk away? I sat there for an hour, turning it over. Then I remembered. They chose this. Both of them. They chose to screw each other while planning his wedding and maintaining my marriage. They chose to make me the best man. To have me stand beside him. To smile at me and lie to my face every single day for 4 months. They chose to build their happiness on my ignorance. They chose to make me look like a fool. No mercy. I went to bed. Slept perfectly. Saturday morning, I woke up calm. No racing heart. No shaking hands. Just clarity. I showered, shaved, got dressed in my groomsman tux. Checked the folder one last time, everything organized, tabbed, ready. Put it in my jacket's inner pocket. The weight felt right. Looked at myself in the mirror. Sharp suit. Steady eyes. Today, I take my life back. I arrived at the venue early. Garden ceremony, outdoor reception. White chairs arranged in rows. Floral arches. String lights waiting for sunset. Everything elegant, expensive, perfect. Ronan was already there, pacing near the groom's ready room. Saw me and visibly relaxed. Thank God. I'm freaking out. Normal wedding jitters, I said. Let me help. I straightened his bow tie. Adjusted his boutonniere. Helped him with his cufflinks when his hands shook too much. Everything's going to be exactly what you deserve, I told him. He smiled. Grateful. Trusting. Music started. Classical string quartet. Guests began taking their seats. I found my position with the other groomsmen. Saw Talia in the third row, stunning in her blue dress, completely unsuspecting. She caught my eye and smiled. Mouthed, "Love you." I smiled back. The officiant took his place at the altar. Ronan walked out, stood waiting. The wedding party lined up, bridesmaids on one side, groomsmen on the other. My heart was perfectly steady. The bride's music began. Nerissa appeared at the top of the aisle. Nerissa looked beautiful. White dress, simple and elegant. Veil catching the afternoon light. She walked down the aisle with her father, smiling at Ronan like he was the only person in the world. I'd never really talked to her beyond basic pleasantries. She was always busy with her surgical practice, 12-hour shifts, on-call rotations, the kind of schedule that doesn't leave room for hanging out with her fiancé's friends. Nice enough when we crossed paths. Brilliant, obviously. Deserved better than this. She reached the altar. Her father kissed her cheek, shook Ronan's hand, took his seat. The officiant began. Standard ceremony language. We are gathered here today. Marriage is a commitment. Love and honor. I stood perfectly still beside Ronan. Could see his hands shaking slightly. Saw him glance at Nerissa, then at the crowd. His eyes found Talia for half a second. She was smiling. The vows came. Ronan went first. His voice cracked once, but he powered through. Promise to love her, cherish her, be faithful to her. That word, faithful, came out smooth. Practiced. Nerissa's vows were shorter. Direct. She wasn't sentimental. Just honest. Promised partnership, support, honesty. Rings exchanged. Ronan's hand steadied for that part. Muscle memory from rehearsal. The officiant smiled. Looked out at the crowd. We've now reached the point in our ceremony where we honor the tradition of speaking any objections to this union. My hand moved to the folder in my jacket. If anyone has objections to this union, speak now or forever hold your peace. Silence. The way it always is. A formality. Nobody ever speaks. I stepped forward. The movement broke the stillness. Heads turned. The officiant blinked, confused. Ronan's face went from confusion to recognition to something that looked like terror. I object. My voice came out calm. Clear. Carried across the garden. Gasps. Nervous laughter from somewhere in the back, someone thinking this was a best man prank. Ronan turned fully toward me now. What are you? I have evidence that the groom has been unfaithful. I pulled out the folder. Opened it. Ronan has been having an affair for the past 4 months. The garden went silent. You could hear the breeze in the trees. With my wife, Talia. I pointed to the third row. Every head turned. Talia's face drained of color. She half stood, like she might run, then sat back down hard. Ronan found his voice. Tried to laugh. This is insane. Why would you? This is my wedding, what the hell are you doing? Tuesday and Thursday nights, I said, still calm. Factual. 4 months. I have the messages, the phone records, the timeline. You're crazy. I started reading. Pulled out the first tabbed page. January 18th. Can't stop thinking about you. January 23rd. Tuesday night? Same place? I looked up at him. February 14th, Valentine's Day, Ronan, I love you. His face went from defensive to pale. March 3rd. I can't wait until we don't have to hide. March 29th. After the wedding, we'll figure it out. I looked at Nerissa. After this wedding. They weren't planning to stop. Ronan tried again. Those could be, you're taking things out of context. I pulled out the call logs. 267 calls between your number and hers in 4 months. Concentrated on Tuesday and Thursday nights. Cross-referenced with your calendar, the nights you had blocked as client meetings. He opened his mouth. Nothing came out. In the third row, Talia stood. Tried to move toward the aisle. My voice stopped her. No. You wanted to sit front row at his wedding. You stay there. The command in my voice surprised even me. She froze. Started crying. Sat back down. Guests were murmuring now. Some standing. Families looking confused, angry, horrified. Narissa had been standing at the altar in her wedding dress, holding her bouquet, completely still. Like she was in surgery and someone had just called out a critical change in vitals. Assessing. Processing. She turned to Ronan. Is this true? Her voice was steady. Clinical. Demanding facts. Ronan reached for her. Narissa, please, we can talk about this, it's not what. Is this true? He tried again. It's complicated. Yes or no, Ronan. His face crumpled. That was answer enough. I spoke quietly. It's all in here if you want proof. Held out the folder. She didn't take it. Didn't need to. She could see everything she needed on his face. She looked at him for a long moment. The garden held its breath. Then she slapped him. The crack echoed. Sharp and clean. His head snapped to the side. Someone gasped. We're done. 3 words. Surgical precision. She dropped her bouquet. The flowers scattered on the altar steps. She turned and walked back down the aisle, still in her wedding dress, veil trailing behind her. Dignified. Even in this. For a moment, nobody moved. Then chaos. Ronan's mother started crying. Narissa's father stood up, yelling something at Ronan. Other guests were standing, talking, pointing. Bridesmaids looked at each other, lost. Ronan was crying now. Reached out toward me. Please, I can explain, we can. I didn't hear the rest. Didn't care. I turned to leave. Talia grabbed my arm. Mascara running. Dress wrinkled from how she'd been gripping it. Eyes desperate. Please, we need to talk, I can explain. I pulled my arm free. Didn't even look at her. No. We don't. I walked toward the exit. Behind me, the venue erupted. Yelling. Crying. Ronan calling my name. His father's voice, loud and angry. Someone asking what the hell just happened. I kept walking. Didn't run. Didn't look back. Just walked to my car, got in, and drove away. The drive home took 20 minutes. I didn't speed. Didn't blast music. Just drove in silence, watching the city pass by. My hands were steady on the wheel. The divorce papers were waiting on the kitchen table when I walked in. Right on schedule. The courier had delivered them in the 3 to 5 p.m. window like I'd paid for. I poured myself a drink. Whiskey, neat. First alcohol I'd had since the night I discovered everything. Tasted like victory. I sat at the table. Looked at the papers. Straightened them into a neat stack. Then I waited. She came home 2 hours later. I heard her car. Heard the door open. Heard her heels on the hardwood, unsteady, like she'd been crying so hard she couldn't walk straight. She appeared in the kitchen doorway. Makeup destroyed. Hair falling out of whatever style she'd done for the wedding. That blue dress wrinkled and stained with tears. Please, she said immediately. Please, we need to talk. I can explain. Sit down. She sat. Started talking anyway. Words pouring out like if she just said enough of them, something would stick. It just happened. We didn't mean for it to happen. It was a mistake. We tried to stop. It didn't mean anything. She still loved me. She never wanted to hurt me. It was only a few times. It wasn't serious. She was confused. She was going through something. I let her talk. Didn't interrupt. Just watched her scramble for purchase on a cliff face that didn't exist anymore. When she finally ran out of words, I slid the divorce papers across the table. Sign them. She stared at the papers like they were written in a foreign language. What? Sign them. Or I'll make all of this, every message, every photo, every piece of evidence I showed today, public beyond just the wedding guests. You can't. I absolutely can. Your choice. Her hand shook as she picked up the pen. Why didn't you just talk to me? We could have worked this out. Gone to therapy. I would have ended things with him. I let the anger show. Just for a moment. You didn't deserve privacy. You destroyed our marriage in secret. I ended it in the light. I leaned forward. You made me stand beside him as best man while you screwed him. You earned this. She flinched like I'd hit her. She signed. Asked if she could stay the night. Pack properly in the morning. I said no. She left with whatever she could grab in 10 minutes. I never saw her again in person after that. Over the next few weeks, the full scope of the destruction became clear. Mutual friends filled me in, piece by piece. Most of them sided with me, not out of loyalty, but because 200 people had witnessed the truth, and there was no spinning that. Ronan's wedding was cancelled, obviously. Deposits lost. Venue, caterer, photographer, all non-refundable. Narissa's family had told Ronan's family everything before they left the venue. His mother apparently cried for hours. His father, a retired judge with a reputation for moral rigidity, cut him off. Financially and emotionally. Told him he'd raised him better than that. The law firm called an emergency partner meeting. Something about a moral character clause in his partnership track contract. He wasn't fired, but the partnership was indefinitely delayed. Career trajectory destroyed. Talia lost her gallery position within a month. The board didn't want the scandal attached to their reputation. She moved back in with her parents 3 states away. Both of them tried reaching out. Ronan sent emails, long, rambling things about how sorry he was, how he never meant to hurt anyone, how it just happened. I read the first one. Deleted the rest unread. Talia tried going through mutual friends. Asked them to tell me she wanted to talk, to explain, to apologize properly. I blocked every attempt. My life. My peace. My choice. The friend group imploded. Game nights stopped. The couple's barbecues died. People picked sides or just drifted away from the drama. I didn't care. Those friendships were built on a foundation that included Ronan and Talia. That foundation was gone. I didn't date for over a year. Focused on myself instead. Therapy helped. Talking through the betrayal with someone objective. Processing the anger without letting it consume me. My therapist asked once if I regretted how I handled it. They had 4 months to handle it privately, I said. They chose deception. I chose truth. I threw myself into work. Took on bigger projects. Got promoted. Bought a new place, smaller than the house, but entirely mine. 1 bedroom, big windows, no ghosts. Started running again. Picked up woodworking. Did things I'd always meant to do but never had time for. Started over. Clean slate. 6 months after the wedding that never finished, someone at work asked if I'd ever forgive them. Forgiveness isn't about them, I said. It's about me choosing not to carry their weight anymore. I've already moved on. They're still living with what they did. And it was true. I'd hear updates sometimes. Ronan was still at the firm but stalled professionally. Talia was working retail now, living with her parents, rebuilding from scratch. I was fine. Better than fine. People asked if I thought the public humiliation was too far. If I should have just divorced quietly. Let karma handle it. My answer never changed. Some people called it brutal. Some called it justified. I call it necessary. Because here's the thing they don't get, the revenge wasn't the exposure. That was just the method. The real victory was refusing to let them steal my dignity. They took my trust. I took back my power. They wanted me to be the fool who never knew. I became the man who knew everything and played it perfectly. Ronan lost his fiancée, his best friend, his family's respect, and his career trajectory. Talia lost her marriage, her job, her social circle, and her credibility. I lost nothing that wasn't already rotten. The wedding that never finished became the ending I needed. Not because I destroyed them, they destroyed themselves. I just held up the mirror. I sit in my apartment now, over a year later. Different place. Different life. Same person, but better. Stronger. Clear-eyed. Someone asked me recently if I had any regrets. I thought about it. Really thought about it. Then I answered honestly. No regrets. Thank you so much for watching until the end. If you really like our videos, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Have a great day.